6:45, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Danushka Madhavala, read by Soundhi Thavam. Investigations into the people's complaints regarding missing persons is being held in the northern province at present. The number of daily corona cases increases to 900. The number of COVID-infected children in hospitals has increased. Health experts say that there is no side effects after obtaining the booster dose. Island-wide raids will be conducted to nab traders who sell cement at higher prices. The Environmental Ministry has decided to promote cycling in the country. Prices in the US rise at the fastest rate in almost 40 years. In world news, the US rejects Russian demand to ban Ukraine from NATO. And in sports, the quarter-final match of the Under-19 ICC Cricket World Cup will be played today between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. Investigations into the people's complaints regarding missing persons is being held in the northern province at present. Around 15,000 complaints have been received by the Presidential Commission of Inquiry to investigate into complaints regarding missing persons. A 4-day mobile investigation process will be held from today under the directions of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Justice Minister Ali Sabri is overseeing this measure. Another 927 COVID-19 cases have been detected in Sri Lanka yesterday, raising the number of confirmed infections to 604,581. Among the new cases, 922 have been linked to the New Year COVID-19 cluster, while 5 persons who arrived from overseas also tested positive for the virus. Accordingly, the Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health said 12,454 persons are currently receiving treatment for the coronavirus at several facilities across the country. Another 16 coronavirus-related fatalities have been confirmed in Sri Lanka, raising the death toll to 15,346. The Director General of Health Services in a statement said all 16 deaths occurred on the 25th of January. The Director of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital, Specialist Dr. P. Vijay Surya, says that the number of COVID-infected children at the hospital has increased. He further said that the number of COVID patients reported before 2 weeks has increased by 50%. The daily admission to the hospital has also largely increased. The director of the IDH hospital, Consultant Dr. Hasita Attanayaka, said that the number of admissions of COVID-infected persons at the IDH hospital has increased considerably. The director of the Colombo National Hospital, Specialist Dr. Kumara Vikramasinghe, has pointed out that it has been observed that the daily number of daily admissions of COVID patients to the hospital has increased. Our correspondents say that COVID-infected patients reported in the island has increased. Therefore, the health sector has requested the public to receive the booster vaccine for the completion of the vaccine. COVID-19 Coordinator and Director of Technical Services at the Ministry of Health, Consultant Dr. Anwar Hadmani, says that there will be no side effect after receiving the booster vaccine. He said that there are no clinical reports confirmed on any side effects regarding the booster vaccine. Participating in the Subharati program of the SLBC, he said, it is sad to note the propagation of false information about the vaccine. Currently, several variants of the COVID-19 is spreading in society. The booster vaccine is given to strengthen the immunity of the body. Therefore, he requests the people to obtain the booster vaccine without delay in order to minimize the death toll and admitting of patients to hospitals. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Consumer Affairs Authority has commenced island-wide raids and investigations to locate businessmen selling cement at higher prices. Accordingly, 56 cement outlets in the Colombo, Kalutara, Gampaha, Kandy, Kurunegala, Ratnapura, Badulla, Monaragala, Anuradhapura, Gaul and Hambantota districts were raided in the recent past. The Consumer Affairs Authority said refusing to sell cement, citing a shortage while in possession of stocks, sale based on various conditions and concealing of stocks are considered offences. The Environmental Ministry has decided to promote cycling in the country. The ministry is considering paying an additional promotional allowance to those who use cycles to come to work. There are ample benefits of cycling. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says that a cabinet paper has also been prepared in this regard. That concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Consumer Affairs Authority yesterday informed court that it has advised Litro Gas and Laughs Gas companies to accept partially used suspected gas cylinders returned by the consumers. Senior State Counsel Manohar Rajasinghe, appearing for the CAA, made the remarks in connection with a writ petition filed challenging the gas company's decision to release unsafe gas cylinders to the market, and was taken up before the Court of Appeal. Public interest litigation activist Nagananda Kodituaku filed the petition. The Court of Appeal fixed the petition for support on February 8th and came to you in the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight, the police say that strict legal action will be taken against people who do not follow health guidelines. Ignoring and neglecting health advice has led to the increase of COVID again. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua said, following health guidelines introduced to control the pandemic is a responsibility of the people. That came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
Making headlines this morning, the US rejects Russian demand to ban Ukraine from NATO. Boris Johnson vows to fight on as MPs await Sue Gray report over Downing Street parties. And Elon Musk SpaceX rocket on collision course with the moon. The US has rejected Russia's demand to buy Ukraine from NATO amid warnings Russia might invade its neighbour. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken was giving Russia a formal response to its demands to solve the Ukraine crisis. Mr. Blinken gave no concessions but said that he was offering Russia a serious diplomatic path forward should Russia choose it. A Russian minister said his country would study Mr. Blinken's response, delivered in coordination with NATO. Russia has issued a written list of its concerns about the expansion of the NATO military alliance and related security issues. Among them was the demand for NATO to rule out the possibility of Ukraine and others ever joining the alliance. Boris Johnson has vowed to fight on as Prime Minister after facing fresh calls to quit over lockdown parties in Downing Street. MPs are still waiting to see the findings of civil servant Sue Gray's inquiry into the events, which had been expected on Wednesday. At Prime Minister's questions, Sir Keir Starmer called on the PM to keep a promise to publish the report in full. Mr. Johnson replied that he would, quote, do exactly what I said, unquote. Downing Street has said it is their intention to publish the report in the format in which Mr. Johnson receives it. The BBC understands that Mrs. Gray's report is essentially completed, but she has not yet sent it to the Prime Minister. It seems likely MPs may have to wait until Thursday or beyond to see the report. A rocket launched by Elon Musk's space exploration company is on course to crash into the moon and explode. The Falcon 9 booster was launched in 2015, but after completing its mission, it did not have enough fuel to return towards Earth and instead remained in space. Astronomer Jonathan McDowell told BBC News it will be the first known uncontrolled rocket collision with the moon. But the effects will be minor, he says. The rocket was abandoned in high orbit 7 years ago after it completed a mission to send a space weather satellite on a 1,000,000-mile journey. Back to the headlines of the world news. The US rejects Russian demand to ban Ukraine from NATO. Boris Johnson vows to fight on as MPs await Sue Gray report over Downing Street parties. And Elon Musk SpaceX rocket on collision with moon. And that concludes this bulletin of world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Meetotamulla garbage dump will be developed again by the Urban Development Authority. The Ministry of Urban Development and Housing said, although the previous government commenced a project to make it an urban park, no development activity has taken place. An investigation by the Urban Development Authority has found over 4 billion rupees has been wasted on the project. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, as the subject minister, has instructed to convert the place into an area which provides facilities to the Kolanava town, and came to you in Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
On to sports news, it's cricket. The quarter-final match of the Under-19 ICC Cricket World Cup will be played today between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. The match will be played at 6:30 p.m. Sri Lanka time at the Coolidge Grounds in Antigua. Rovman Powell hit a majestic century to lead the West Indies to a 20-run victory over England in the third T20 in Barbados. Powell struck 107 off 53 balls, including 10 sixes, as he ruthlessly punished wayward bowling by England to record his maiden T20 ton. He put on 122 for the third wicket with Nicholas Pooran, who smashed 70 off 43, as the hosts posted 224 for 5, their highest T20 score against England. In reply, England opener Tom Banton made 73 off 39 and T20 debutant Phil Salt hit 57 off 23. But the rest of the order failed to fire as the much-changed tourists, without injured captain Ian Morgan, could only reach 204 for 9. The West Indies now lead the 5-match series 2-1, with the final 2 games to be played on Saturday and Sunday. That's sports news. Business news up next.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSP You Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Luxury car manufacturer Bentley will invest £2.5 billion as it moves towards making electric vehicles. It aims to produce its first electric car within the next 3 years with exclusively electric models by 2030. The new models will be developed at the company's plant in Crewe, Cheshire, which will also see investment to become carbon neutral, the firm said. That's business news. Economic news up next.
Business news sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSP You Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The US Central Bank is poised to raise interest rates as it unwinds the support it has provided the world's largest economy since the start of the pandemic. The Federal Reserve did not raise interest rates yesterday, but said such a move will soon be appropriate. The bank is under pressure to rein in inflation as prices in the US rise at the fastest rate in almost 40 years. Analysts expect a rate hike in March, which would be the first since 2018. That's economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
Except for a few showers at some places in the Sabaragama province and in the Kaluthara district, mainly fair weather will prevail over the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the central, Sabaragama, north central and Uva provinces and in the Gaul and Matara districts during the morning. To conclude this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. Investigations into the people's complaints regarding missing persons is being held in the northern province at present. The number of daily corona cases increases to 900. The number of COVID-infected children at hospitals has increased. Health experts say that there is no side effect after obtaining the booster dose. Island-wide raids will be conducted to nab traders who sell cement at higher prices. The Environmental Ministry has decided to promote cycling in the country. Prices in the US rise at the fastest rate in almost 40 years. The US rejects Russian demand to ban Ukraine from NATO. And the quarter-final match of the Under-19 ICC World Cricket Cup will be played today between Sri Lanka and Afghanistan. That concludes this morning's news broadcast.